Okay, in accordance with the requirements of the open meeting law, please be advised that this meeting is being recorded and broadcast over the Lunenburg Public Access. The town of Lunenburg, in response to COVID-19 coronavirus, is currently following the guidelines from the Lunenburg Board of Health, Mass Department of Public Health, the CDC regarding the virus and steps communities can take to prevent the spread, and all the town facilities are currently closed to the public. In accordance with the governor's order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, General Law 30A, Section 20, all public meetings are being conducted remotely. This meeting will be broadcast live through local access cable on Facebook Live on the Public Access Facebook page, www.facebook.com/Lunenburg Public Access Cable, 157427270975305, and will be able to be found on the Lunenburg Access YouTube channel within 24 hours after the meeting. The following information is also provided for members of the public that would like to participate in the meeting remotely. To participate remotely from a computer, please use the link for the public meeting webinar, https://zoom.us/j/98570428230, or from a telephone, dial the toll-free number 888-475-4499 and enter the webinar ID 831-2717-6711. If you are not registered with Zoom, you will be asked for your name and an email address. No participant ID is needed. Just press the pound sign when asked. Telephone users may dial *9 to request to speak after joining the meeting. Computer and app users may use the raise hand feature to request to speak. The Lunenburg Zoning Board will hear the petition of William H. and June N. Hudson, 90 Hemlock Drive, Lunenburg, Mass. The property which is the subject of this case is located at 90 Hemlock Drive, Lunenburg, Mass. The petitioners are seeking a special permit to remove and reconstruct a single-family home. The Zoning Board of Appeals will consider authorizing the special permit. The basis for this appeal for special permit is found in the Lunenburg Protective Bylaw, Section 257.4. Any correspondence received in support or opposition to the petition will be read into the public record. Okay, and with that, I will read first I'll introduce the board members as kind of a roll call. So I will start with James Bezikowski.
Here.
Hans Winthrop.
Here.
David Blatt.
Here.
Patrick Callahan.
Here.
And I'm Alfred Gravel. And the way the meeting will proceed from here is we will read the application and any other submitted communications. The applicant will have the opportunity to comment or submit additional documentation. And this is, again, there will be a public comment period if there is any public. And the required findings for any special permit are as follows: that it will not be injurious or dangerous to the public health or unduly hazardous because of traffic flow, congestion, danger of fire or explosion or other reasons. 2, that it will not have a material adverse effect on the value of land and buildings in the neighborhood. 3, that it will be operated with reasonable regard for order and sightliness if in open use. 4, that it will not produce noise, vibration, smoke, dust, odor, heat, or glare observable at the lot lines, clearly detrimental to the normal use of adjacent property. And with that, I will read the application. This is an application for a special permit, Chapter 40A, Section 9, Zoning Board of Appeals. Name and address of each applicant or petitioner is William and June Hudson, 90 Hemlock Drive, Lunenburg, Mass. The undersigned hereby appeals. The applicants are seeking a special permit under section 250-7.4, non-conforming structures to remove and reconstruct an existing single-family home. Has the proposed action or use begun? No. The basis for this application is found in the following section of the Lunenburg zoning bylaw, 250-7.4. The street address or other sufficient description to adequately identify the land or building, which is the subject of this case, is 90 Hemlock Drive. The assessor's map and parcel is map 50, parcel 40. The name and address of each holder of legal title to the land, which is the subject of this case, listed as it appears in the deed, is June N. and William H. Hudson, 90 Hemlock Drive, Lunenburg, Mass. Deed recorded, Worcester Northern District Registry of Deeds, book 9400, page 200, date recorded 8/23/19. They have no knowledge of a prior appeal, application, or petition concerning the land or building involved in the case. Draw to appropriate scale a sketch or diagram of the land and buildings which are the subject of this case, including information listed under section 1D of the instructions, and attach, and it says that it is attached. And the answers to the findings that that he has answered is in a cover letter, which I will also read. And the following additional information is provided because it is considered important to the case. That is also covered in a cover letter. It is signed on the 21st of May, 2020 by June N. Hudson and William H. Hudson, 90 Hemlock Drive. And to that, there is a letter from David E. Ross Associates, dated May 26, 2020, to the Lunenburg Zoning Board of Appeals. And it's, dear board members, the purpose of this letter is to detail to you the request for a special permit under section 257.4 of the Lunenburg zoning bylaw. This particular section deals with changes to lawful non-conforming existing structures. The subjected property is located in the Residence A zoning district, which currently requires 40,000 square feet of land area and a frontage of at least 100 feet. The lot in question has 24,400 square feet property with 53 feet of frontage. This parcel was created and shown on a plan that is attached that is dated August 22nd, 1952, but not approved by the planning board until September 6, 1955, and signed by the board on September 27, 1955, all prior to the adoption of the Lunenburg zoning bylaw in August of 1960. The existing house also stood on this property prior to the adoption of the bylaw and is afforded the designation of a lawful pre-existing non-conforming structure as it pertains to section 257.4 of the bylaw. The accompanying plan details the proposed reconstruction of the existing home at 90 Hemlock Drive. The new reconstruction home will be built in approximately the same location as the existing house and will conform to the front, side, and rear property line offset requirements, as well as within the height limitations. The proposal will not increase the number of bedrooms in the facility, but will only act to upgrade, improve, and modernize the living standards within the existing house. According to 257.4B, reconstruction of a single-family residential non-conforming structure may be allowed upon determination that the reconstruction meets all current zoning requirements, is not more substantially detrimental to the neighborhood, and does not increase the non-conforming nature of the structure. The bylaw goes on to say that the proposed structure shall be deemed not to increase the non-conforming nature of said structure if the structure is located on a lawfully non-conforming lot and the alteration will not result in a new or increased violation of any of the dimensional requirements of the bylaw. With this application, we contend that we have established compliance with these standards. In accordance with the application for a special permit, we also would like to address the 4 questions posed in item 12, which are offer the following. And those are the findings that I had read earlier. A, the proposed construction and function of a new single-family home will not be injurious or dangerous to the public health, nor will it be hazardous because of any traffic congestion. It will not pose a threat for fire or explosion. This proposed project will not have any material adverse effect on the value of land and buildings in the neighborhood or the amenities of the neighborhood. In fact, this upgrade from the existing conditions may have a net positive influence on the value of surrounding properties and amenities. C, this proposed single-family home will be operated with reasonable regard for order and sightliness. D, the proposed construction nor the future use of the single-family home will not produce noise, vibration, dust, odor, heat, or glare observable at lot line in amounts clearly detrimental to the normal use of adjacent properties. The applicant's efforts in this approval process have included a permit to upgrade the sewage disposal system from the Lunenburg Board of Health. In addition, we have also just filed a notice of intent with the Lunenburg Conservation Commission for all the proposed activities. We are expecting to meet with the commission in the upcoming meeting in June. We respectfully request that you evaluate this submittal for the benefit of the applicant and see fit to grant us the special permit for reconstruction as detailed. And that's very truly yours, David E. Ross Associates, and is signed by Daniel B. Wolf, President. Okay. We do have some, I'll also read the building inspector's note to them from Casey Burlingame, building commissioner. I have received the application and have the following comments. The property in question is parcel ID number 050-0040-000 and is located at 90 Hemlock Drive. It is currently being used as a single-family home, is in the Residence A district. The proposed work is the demolition of a non-conforming building as defined in the definitions of the zoning bylaw under non-conforming and reconstruction of a new single-family home of slightly larger dimensions on pre-existing lot that does not conform to all current zoning bylaw requirements, specifically lot size and frontage requirements. With this information, the applicant would need a special permit to reconstruct from the Zoning Board of Appeals under Section 250-7.4A, allowing the reconstruction of a lawfully non-conforming building or structure. I think we've heard from some of the other boards in town. Fire department review was completed June 5th. Board of Health review completed June 7th. James Griffey. No Board of Health issues with the plans. A certificate of compliance for the replacement septic system must be obtained prior to the issuance of an occupancy permit. Let's see what else is answered. Okay, issue permitted.
List of abutters is included also.
Yeah, there is a list of abutters. The only other one I have is the conservation review. That's in progress, and it says that it was approved 6/17. You're right, there is a list of abutters. There is a map, I'm not sure, topographical map, I guess. And there's also the layout of the land in the proposed building. Okay. I think with that, I have read everything into the into the, from the applicants and from the other boards. So with that, I would invite the applicant or his representative, if they would like to speak at this time. They could just address
Yes.
the board.
My name is Dan Wolf. I'm with David Ross Associates, and I'm representing Bill and June Hudson tonight. And that must be the most well-read summary of the project I've ever heard. You've covered everything in the application, so thank you very much. But you've taken some of the wind out of my sails. The only other thing I can add to that is that we have completed the process with the Conservation Commission. They recently closed the hearing and voted to issue us a order of conditions. They were pleased with the project. Mostly what they focused in on with us is that the square footage of impervious areas is actually decreasing overall with the buffer zone. They were pleased that the house being longer and more slender actually gets us further away from the wetlands overall and stays out of their described no build zone or no touch zone of 30 feet. So again, that process has been completed, as well as the Board of Health process. And so we're just following the methods that are described in the zoning bylaw to come before this board, seeking the ability to reconstruct this single-family home.
Okay, thank you. Could you just what is the difference in square footage on the existing for what you are proposing?
Sure, let me just, the house footprint, in other words, as it sits on the ground, the house footprint is, the existing house is 1,183 square feet, and the proposed house is 2,084 square feet. The big difference that we had in impervious area, however, is that the existing house also, in addition to the footprint, there is a concrete apron and a concrete patio and some other concrete walkways, and those will be removed as part of this property, as part of this process.
Okay, thank you. With that, as of now, I would open it up to any questions from the board members.
I did not have any. I went over today and looked at it, and from what I've seen and everything with the house and everything, looks like a very good opportunity for them to have a much nicer piece of property.
Okay, thank you. Any other?
Mr. Chair, I have a couple of questions I just wanted to ask quickly.
Yep.
Does the existing house have a basement?
No, it does not.
So it's a crawl space, or is it on slab?
It's on actually 3 sections of slab, and they are with varying dimensions, varying heights and depths to them. So nothing was consistent enough or met any requirements for us to be able to safely build on it.
Okay.
Or go up with a second floor for a couple of bedrooms.
No, understand. Well, it makes sense. Plus, it sounds like you had steps everywhere. You have kind of have a step here, a step there throughout the first floor, I would assume.
Yeah, short, yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. We'll call it a step, but it's really that 2-inch, 4-inch.
Yeah, just a little.
Okay. The other question I had is, so the idea is now to remove the entire slab and cement retaining walls and produce a brand new foundation? That would be footers?
Correct.
Foundation? Is that correct?
Yeah. So not all of the retaining, there's 2 retaining walls. There's one on the land goes out on a point. So there's one on the point side that will not be moved. Then there's a set of stairs as it wraps around towards the church. And then there's a retaining wall in the front that is starting to fall over. So a section of that you removed to allow for the basement.
For the walkout basement.
and then it would be wrapped back in from the existing one now.
All right, thank you. I was more pertaining, I guess I used the wrong thing when I said retaining wall. It was more like Mr. Wolf explained that there was additional concrete to hold the patio.
Oh, the
That additional
structure.
concrete is being removed.
Yeah.
Yes.
As of today, is the septic tank, the pump chamber, where is that today? And is that being removed and replaced or just upgraded?
So the chamber is to the left of the shed on the plan,
And it's
if you can see that. And then the actual leach field is towards the point end of the property.
Ouch. Okay.
So the tank that's there will be removed and just filled in, and then the new tanks will be put on the rear side of the house. We would call the front.
by the
Right.
shed.
There's water on three sides. I don't know how you want to call it.
Yeah. By the shed.
Yes.
I can also
and that-
address that point there is quite often the Board of Health uses the word upgrade, and that to some people sounds like you're just supplementing or repairing what is there. And what Bill's describing is that the existing system is very close to the water at a very environmentally sensitive spot, and all of that is being moved down toward the road for a new leaching area there.
Okay. No, yeah, I can see that. I was just questioning more of was that where it was and you're just doing a pump chamber, but that's actually, I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to see that, the tank and all that stuff. Okay. And just my last question is, what's the plans for the basement? We didn't see that in the plans here. So is that going to be just wide open, or is it, you have plans in the basement?
It's going to be one wide open family room with storage in the back, and utility room and a bath.
All right, that's just a curious neighbor asking, so don't worry about that. Had nothing to do with it. Okay. All right, Mr. Chair, I'm all set on questions then. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, David. Any other board members, Hans or Patrick?
I got one really quick question. As far as the layout of the lot, doesn't look like there's a ton of change in like grade or anything. Maybe just up close to the structure. Everything else looks like it's pretty much staying as it was as far as runoff and all that.
Yes.
So Dave, you can explain.
There is minimal grading that's being proposed, and we've actually tried to maintain and keep within the rolling nature of the property. The only real slight difference you see is on the right side of the house, where we are purposefully putting in a gravel walkway with some granite or possibly timber stairs to get down to that lower level without creating a worn down path or anything like that. So there's a little bit of grading there, but otherwise it stays in keeping with the existing grades.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I have a few questions. Can you tell me, so I know one of my colleagues had asked earlier, but you're increasing the square footage almost 900 square feet. Is that correct? From 1183 to 2084?
Correct.
It was one floor before. Oh, Dan,
Yes.
go ahead. You do it.
Those numbers I quoted before were numbers that were prepared at the request of the Conservation Commission to show the footprint of the building. In other words, as viewed from the sky, what sort of square footage was the house itself? And I pointed out to you just now that we went from the 1183 to 2084. But the big difference there is we're also eliminating the footprint of all of the concrete patios, and there's a wide concrete apron surrounding the whole house. So in essence, if you included the impervious nature of the driveway, the aprons, and the patio, we are actually decreasing the impervious footprint of all of this activity by almost 300 square feet.
Okay, and my second question is, it says here in the letter that you're not increasing the number of bedrooms. And can you tell me what the current existing bedrooms are now and what's proposed?
Actually, June, you probably, oh, I see that they've gone. I am looking for the septic plan, just to make sure I quote it correctly. But I believe the existing house is 3 bedrooms and the proposed house would be 3 bedrooms.
Okay. And the only reason I asked that is that the property card from the assessor's office has a 2-bedroom house, and I see a 3-bedroom plan here on the architectural plans.
Okay, and that was all reviewed by the Board of Health, and I'm sorry, I don't have the Board of Health plan here. I'm flipping through my records to see if I have it. And Bill and June must have lost their connection, so they'll be back shortly as well. The Board of Health, by the way, is extremely, I was going to use the word strict, but they're extremely diligent in ensuring that any project such as this do not increase in the approved capacity of the system or the number of bedrooms. I've found the assessor card myself. I'm looking for bedrooms. Yes, it says 2 there, but again, I'd need Bill and June to confirm that.
In David E. Ross Associates introductory letter, it said that the house will be built on approximately the same location as the existing house and will conform to the front side and rear line as well as within height, will not increase the number of bedrooms in the facility, but will only act to upgrade. So if they're asking for 3 according to that letter, they have 3.
Yeah, just means we might not have been getting taxes on a 3rd bedroom for quite a few years, you know?
It happens quite often. It happens more often than you'd think. And what I've done on many occasions is, in this case, it would be Jim Gariffi from the Board of Health. Sometimes I've walked him through different houses to verify with him. I see Bill and June are back.
Yep.
Bill and June, you're proposing a 3-bedroom house. The existing house, what is the number of bedrooms in the existing house?
3.
3.
3. Okay.
It was being utilized as a 2, but the Board of Health, we confirmed, is a 3-bedroom for the house.
When the system was
was
replaced back in 1980 something.
Yeah, we went through that to begin with.
So that goes along with what I was saying, is that it was verified that the approved capacity was 3, and therefore the Hudsons are allowed to have 3. And obviously when Hudson's bought the property, it was being utilized as 2 because some people can rearrange workspaces and sometimes call it an office or a den, but there were 3 historically, and they are allowed 3 now.
And we were approved by the Board of Health for a new 3-bedroom system.
Is there a new system going in, or does the existing system is a 3-bedroom existing system?
There is a new 3-bedroom system being installed.
And we don't have any correspondence from the Board of Health saying that in this packet, I take it?
Hold on.
The only thing that was read into the minute was that the minutes were that the Board of Health has issued the permit and they are requiring a certificate of compliance prior to occupancy.
That is correct. I read that in from James Griffey, June 7th, 2020. No Board of Health issue with the plans. A certificate of compliance for the replacement septic system must be obtained prior to the issuance of an occupancy permit.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. One of the other things I'll point out, of course, what I'm happy to hear is that you're not requesting any setbacks, that everything meets the required setbacks, front, sides, back, because that was a key to finding that a non-conforming structure is not becoming more non-conforming, which of course we can't allow. So as far as zoning is concerned, that's a big plus. Any other questions from the board?
Just, Mr. Chair, just a point of clarification, and this would be more right directly to the Hudsons. You mentioned that right around 85 or something like that, that you had gotten from the Board of Health, the ability to upgrade the septic system?
No. The system on the property was upgraded.
They had an emergency upgrade.
System put in, and it was a 3-bedroom system.
Okay.
That's how we found out that it was a
3-bedroom system.
Gotcha. Okay, so in other words, just that the whatever it is the assessor's card never got upgraded from 2 to 3 bedrooms.
Right.
Correct.
Okay, that's it. That was it, Mr. Chair. Okay.
Thank you.
But all the documentation is with the Board of Health. That's why they approved the 3-bedroom new system design.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions from the board? Hearing none. Is anybody from the public on that would like to speak? Do you see any, David?
No, nobody's raising hands or nobody's jumping in.
Okay. With that, then, we'll cut off public discussion. If there's no other discussion from the board, I'll actually ask for a motion.
Motion that we grant the request for the special permit as requested.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Okay, so I will call for a roll call vote. So, James?
Aye.
Hans?
Aye.
Patrick?
Aye.
David?
Aye.
And I am aye. So with that, it is approved. I do have a post-decision instruction on a special permit. The special permit is granted with the contingency that the petitioner comply with all licenses, regulations, statutes, ordinances of any and all applicable local, state, and federal boards or agencies with jurisdiction over the premises. The special permit is the subject to a periodic review by the permit granting authority or the enforcement officer to ensure compliance with any conditions. Non-compliance to such conditions may result in a revocation of this permit. A copy of the board's decision shall be filed with the town clerk within 14 days. Any party aggrieved by the board's decision may appeal to Superior Court within 20 days after the decision is filed with the town clerk. After certification by the town clerk that 20 days have elapsed since the decision was filed, you should have it recorded in the Registry of Deeds. No special permit shall take effect until it has been recorded, and the special permit shall lapse within 2 years unless substantial use or construction has commenced. And with that, we wish you luck with your new home.
Good luck.
All very much.
Good luck.
Thank you.
We thank the board.
Thank you. All right, good night, everybody. First, I need a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second,
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
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 And aye. With that, we are